Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is episode 2 of The Gardens of Golshan here on ManaPot Studios. I am Liza, aka Darling Archer. I will be your GM for this evening. We are gonna jump right back into the action, but first I would like all of my players to get a chance to say hello and to remind you about their fabulous characters. We are going to start right over here with our lovely paladin.
Hi, I'm Ainsley. I stream on Twitch sometimes as wow, I forgot my own stream name. That's awesome. Lace Transformer. And my character's name for this game is Zozo Baab. He is a bugbear paladin who is not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he has a lot of heart and he's totally devoted to music in all shapes and forms. Oh, and the arts in general. The arts in general, let's say that.
Amazing. And how is Zozo Baab feeling right now? What's going on with Zozo?
Well, Zozo has, you mean in the story?
Mm-hmm, yeah. How's Zozo doing?
Well, Zozo has just been in a pretty big battle. He took some damage, he took some hits, but eventually, since everyone prevailed, he's feeling good and accomplished. He feels like he did a good job getting rid of the bad thing or helping to get rid of the bad thing. So that's how he's feeling now, tired but satisfied.
Wonderful. And go right on up.
To me. My name is Justin Kaler. I publish indie RPGs under Sweaterpunk Studios, and I am playing as Corvel Benoit, who is like the son of a noble who has been ignoring the responsibilities of that part of his legacy for a long, long time. But his father just passed away, and he is now attending the wedding at Golshan on their behalf, and is the representative of the Benoit family. He has just crawled out of it, and that he spent a lot of the last session in for reasons, and was excited about jumping in and saving the day, and is maybe pulling himself out and looking around and realizing not only did he do as good a job as he would have liked, but probably the princess, who is in no mood to be consoled after losing her mother, it's hard to spin this, I think, for him. So he's trying to figure out what his next move is.
Awesome. Thank you. And we're going to go right on over there.
Hey, name is Anastasia. I play Muhaka, who is the Warforged Bard. She was brought here to play for the bride and groom, and well, she got a few hard licks. She's performance damaged by a few slashes. There's probably sand in the joints. She is currently, she can't feel anything because she's currently unconscious after attempting to fight off something invading her mind.
Yes, that is exactly the case. Let's go right on up to the top corner here.
Hi, I'm Nikki, and I'm playing Chastity, a warlock tiefling, who's the twin sister to Belief. She is just generally naughty and enjoys it immensely. And at the moment, she's feeling excited that there was a battle and a chance to hit things, but also concerned about her brother, who is kind of in the line of attack. So when she feels concerned, that kind of goes to anger because soft emotions are gross.
And speaking of that brother...
Yes, hello. So I am Reed Chandler, and I am indeed that aforementioned brother. I am playing Belief, who is a tiefling ex-fighter, now wizard. Gentleman, scholar, supposedly the tutor of the bride-to-be on a good day, which this isn't one of those. Chastity's not evil twin. And as far as how things are going right now for Belief, I think that given where we left him, he's sort of switched off his emotions for a moment to focus on business, because this is sort of a crisis situation that may or may not turn into more sand demons. I'm still unclear on exactly whether the attack is ended or not. So, stay ever vigilant. Oh, also, I kind of forgot to mention it last time, but my familiar is around here somewhere. Proof, the Raven. He's better with people than I am, really.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you. We are in the gardens outside of a fancy palace, Golshan Palace, the ancient and somewhat run-down seat of a legendary noble family. The palace has been fixed up by the last remaining scion of this family and her groom-to-be, a wealthy merchant. All of our heroes who used to know each other many years ago, but stopped adventuring together for an as-yet unknown reason, all found themselves unexpectedly brought back together at this lavish soiree. And it seemed that fate had something in store for them, because just after Muhaka had finished performing, the mother of the bride got up to speak, and as she did so, a shaft of moonlight emerged from between the clouds and illuminated a spell circle on the stage below her. The arcane runes wrapped up around her body and transformed her into some sort of monster. One might call it a sand demon. Reed loves a good sand demon.
Don't we all?
And began attacking guards and bystanders. Fortunately, our 5 heroes leapt into the fray and were able to, mostly thanks to some truly divine smites by our resident paladin, slay the creature, and are now in the process of trying to figure out what happened. We have met many of the people here at this wedding who are all sort of freaking out, I think would be an appropriate description. And trying to figure it out. Belief has just cast a spell of comprehend languages to try and decipher this spell circle, and Muhaka walked up to one of the nearby palm trees and cast speak with plants to attempt to get some information from it about what had transpired and who might have put this spell circle into place. Trees, not great at facial recognition, it turns out. But as she was touching the plant, Muhaka felt her mind invaded and decided not to resist whatever presence was reaching out to her.
Yeah, we'll go with decided not to resist and not failed to resist.
Muhaka, you cannot see anything. You feel upon you a weight, a crushing weight. What it is you don't know, and all over you feel broken, pierced. You've never been inside of an Iron Maiden, but you imagine this might be what it would feel like. This pain and weight seems to go on forever. But you feel yourself reaching outward through cracks, searching for light in this utter darkness. Little tiny tendrils of consciousness reaching out towards something light, something warm, something that is not this pain. And then you wake up. All of you, I think at this point, have gathered around Muhaka, who has been unconscious for several minutes. And as she comes to, you just hear one word echoing strangely from out of her war-forged lungs and vocal cords. Just one word. Free.
Free?
Free.
Is it coming in her voice?
No.
Oh. No. Can I cast, I have a spell.
How
Earth
long have
bind
I
on
been
her?
out?
I'm sorry. Nikki, what spell?
Earthbind? Can I just hold her to the ground real quick until we figure out if she's possessed or not? Because she sounds real possessed and something else just
yeah,
possessed
Why
her.
you gotta be rude?
I believe she needs to make a strength saving throw for Earthbind. Is that right?
I don't know. Let me Google it real quick.
That sounds correct.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yes. Yeah. Strength throw.
All right, Muhaka, make
Strength
a
saving
strength
throw, yeah.
saving throw.
All right, the trend continues. That is a 7. Grand total of.
Excellent.
Yeah. We see.
So
Well,
these like purple roots bind her to the ground gently but firmly.
yeah, your speed
Just-
is reduced. You don't take any damage, but your speed is reduced to 0.
Which I'm on the floor, so that means I cannot get up or move.
That's correct. Muhaka, why don't you go ahead and roll me a d10?
Three.
You were unconscious for 3 minutes.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Chastity, what did you do?
Chastity, what is the meaning of this?
Wait, is she talking normal?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm just gonna cast some like Arcana. Can I do Arcana? Guys, just trust me for a second. I mean, I might be overreacting. Okay, I might be overreacting, but like I also might not be. And if I'm not overreacting, you all will thank me. And if I am overreacting, no harm, no foul. Okay, but like some creepy ass voice just came out of her mouth, and I just got attacked, and I'm really hurt. And you know I don't like when my clothes get ruined. So can we just see what that creepy fucking voice was saying? Freedom, because that sounds bad.
Did I hear the word say free, or did I just wake up and everybody else heard it except for me?
You did hear it. You did hear it, and you could feel yourself saying it, but you couldn't control anything.
Chastity, I've heard you say no harm, no foul many, many times, and usually in each of those cases, neither of those things is true. But
Well, this time it is.
I'm willing to go along with it this time.
Okay.
It's been a long time. People change.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And I give him one of those like smiles.
She will kill me if everything is not above board, but I assure you everything is well. I am in control of my own faculties.
I won't kill you. I'll help you. Can I roll Arcana to see
What are you
or,
trying
like,
to assess?
what the fuck possessed her?
Are you
Or
trying
if she's possessed?
If she is possessed, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Insight / roll 1. Pardon me while I type all my spelling out loud. I know this is what the people come for.
That's right. We come for distinctly spoken dice rolls.
I know I'm here for the spelling.
14.
A 14. She definitely looks kind of shaken and rattled, but doesn't seem to be possessed by anything, as far as you can tell. She's acting like Muhaka.
Oh, good.
Now, would you undo these fines? I still have one more thing I must try before the window of opportunity is passed.
Just 1 second. 1 second. Belief, can you just like check her real quick too? You're like a wizard now.
From like
You rip these things off of me.
Zozo also can check. Zozo know couple thing, 1, 2 thing. You want
yeah.
Zozo check?
Yes, please. Like, check with your divineness.
Zozo
Sorry.
do best. Zozo do best. Hang on.
Corvel, how long has it been?
How long have you been out?
Yes.
Only a moment. It's like, I don't know why they're so concerned. You're fine, right?
Zozo rolled 23.
Do you feel okay?
Rolling an insight check.
Everything is appropriate. I am working at the appropriate levels. My mind is my own.
Do you know what happened to you?
No. There was a weight, and there was darkness, and I clawed my way out.
Muhaka, forgive me for asking you this, but did you kill Lady Souad?
No.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I am incapable of such magic.
I turn and look at Chastity again.
Zozo, Ainsley, are you still with us? I'm seeing you be frozen.
Oh, she is frozen.
Ooh.
Let her go!
Let her go.
Let her play in the show!
Okay, she said she can hear and see us all.
Huh. Discord.
Ainsley's just like in bullet time with Zozo's,
Zozo's
insight roll, just like
focusing.
zoomed in on like.
I can see forever.
Muhaka, you were asking a question. Chastity, are you releasing your Earthbind spell, or are you holding Muhaka down?
Yes. But
As long as Zozo says it's okay. What does Zozo's roll say?
Zozo rolled a 23 and would know that Muhaka does not appear to be possessed.
Okay, then yeah, I'll let it go. Okay, sorry, I just want to make sure. Because that last thing was really scary.
Yeah, we see the vines sort of unravel themselves, and Muhaka, you're able to get up.
It is a bit of a process. She's not often laying down, and her feet aren't as articulate, so it's like a whole process of rolling over, getting to knees, and then finally straightening up. It's like,
When the vines go away, can I have them help lift her, or do I not have that much?
Sure, absolutely. Why
Yeah,
not?
like I can help.
Style
Sorry.
points.
Sorry.
Okay.
thank you. Now, Muhaka will then walk towards the body and try to cast another spell.
Okay, yeah,
'Cause this is how
absolutely.
heroes speak with dead.
There we
You
go.
walk
Oh, no.
over
At least
there.
I will try to.
Go ahead
And see,
and make me an Arcana check, because there is no body.
per se. That's why I'm very
Yeah.
curious to see if it would work. I think I'm good at Arcana. I rolled above a 14, above a 10. That is a grand total of 17.
So you know that Zozo said that this creature was undead, and you know that the spell Speak with Dead does not function on undead creatures.
But her body turned into that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's in fact not a body anymore. It is sort of a pile of sand.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Body was completely changed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then Julia's turn. And what have you found out while I was unconscious?
Believe.
Not much yet.
Yeah.
You had cast Comprehend Languages on the spell circle, which is in fact 3 spell circles.
Indeed.
And you were able to determine that it was in fact in 3 different languages.
Go on.
The languages were Abyssal, Sylvan, and Primordial, not necessarily in that order. I am going to show you the text in just a second. Alright.
That's ominous.
It is there in Roll20 for you to look at.
Oh no.
Yes.
That doesn't look very nice.
That's a Disney evil green, is what that is.
Oh yeah.
So, yes, you are able to see this now clearly illuminated to your arcane sight. I can also just send you the text because it's written in a circle, which is probably less.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
The summary is it's bad.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, it's really
read it out loud, Belief.
Yeah. Hold
Here,
on a sec.
1 second. I will.
Why is it supposed to be read from inside to outside or outside?
No, it's gonna be outside to inside. I
Cool.
am putting
Green to
it.
red.
I'm
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
putting
That's
it
good, that's a-
into various chats. 1 second.
Okay.
All right, dramatic voice, begin.
All right. Yes, belief. As your spell takes hold, you are able to read this text.
Excellent. Also, just for the record, because I know I've been fairly silent for a minute here, the reason for that is that I've been off camera because while that all was going on, I was busy with casting the spell as a ritual.
Mhm.
So Proof was keeping an eye on Muhaka and everything, but
Nah, it's okay. I know you don't.
I was busy. Yeah, no, yeah, well, you know, as long as we're on the same page. Anyway, yeah, at this point,
It's like belief to show his caring from afar and by doing nothing.
yeah, you know.
No, that's just your very optimistic self thinking that. You're really being extremely optimistic.
Anyway, in other news, forged in blood, so by blood broken, with sacrifice the spell undone, curse and wrath by moonlight woken, bid tide and blood alike to run. An age of pain in one breath spoken, welcome vengeance just begun.
That seemed bad.
Yeah. Wait. Forged in
Ominous.
blood, so bad with sacrifices. So the spell's undone? Isn't that good?
Sorry, are you coming over and that question?
Hey, wait, so, like, if the spell is undone with a sacrifice and, like, she's dead, so that's probably, like, it sounds like a sacrifice, so...
If anything,
Is it
sounds
like
to
we're
me
good?
that
Well,
the
hold on.
spell was made with her blood.
Well, hold on a moment, though.
You just say it's good and go home. I don't like...
Proof tells me that you heard Muhaka say free or freedom or something to that effect.
Oh,
Correct?
shit. Yes.
That would suggest that this is some kind of complex unbinding. So,
Forged in blood,
So-
so by blood broken.
yeah. In other words, sister, not good. There's probably something that was let loose. And it's probably, well, I don't know. Maybe it's still here. Maybe it's not. Too early to tell. I don't know enough.
Okay, so someone let go some kind of vengeance demon.
Chastity. It is at this point that now that you've had a chance to catch your breath, you were thinking back on what kind of creature that was during the fight, and you
Yeah.
had that memory of something that Aaron had told you, and you remember now more about that. I think we get another flash of you and Aaron sitting in that room, and I'm showing you a sort of depiction of a similar creature to the one that you saw, which is created when generally when a spell goes wrong, and when the mind that is trying to comprehend or be forced into some spell is not adequate, can't make it, can't handle it.
So, guys, I just remembered something. I remember Arwen talking to me about how, like, people shouldn't try risky magic because it's, like, risky. And he said that sometimes when, like, there was, like, this picture book with this creepy thing was also in it. And it was just about how, like, maybe this woman was too weak to handle whatever spell was going through her. Like, she just was I don't know. I don't want
So
to
you
speak
think
ill of
Lady
the dead, but like
Souad-
feeble-minded. Huh?
You think she cast the spell on herself?
Possibly. Or somebody picked a wrong vessel.
I
Or
might
maybe
just.
she was just in the wrong space at the wrong time. Like, didn't this happen when the moon appeared? And doesn't it say, like, moons? It says,
I expect.
moonlight woken. So maybe she was just standing in the wrong time at the wrong space. Like, maybe it was supposed to be made for her daughter or something. I don't know. I just know that things did not go according to plan. And if the spell did not go according to plan in some, like, creepy vengeance thing, that sounds bad.
Seems like quite a coincidence. Muhaka, didn't you say that you knew something about the history of this place?
I know of the history, yes. Would you like me to relate it to you?
Is there any connection to vengeance?
Uh, I don't know about vengeance, but it mentions the relation by blood, which would mean that it has something perhaps to do with Elsidon, as he was the one most prominent in all the stories, facing down Ashenfang, and thus the creation of the Green Desert during their fight.
Yeah, so maybe it was meant for either the daughter or the mother, you know, since they're both the blood.
You think
Forged in blood.
You think vengeance plot? Weird old spell? One weird old spell change Garden's Golshan?
Well, if we are
Yeah.
to believe that the stories are true, then as this creature bled, when it bled, it turned the sand to green and, I suppose, poisoned the place. If we are to believe the stories, then it is not simply a dramatized version of the events that did occur.
Can Corvell take a look around the room?
Yes, absolutely. As you're looking around, you see that there's a little sort of knot of people. You see Jethan and Javed, the sort of overzealous paladin who is the cousin of the bride, and the captain of the guard, are both escorting this Yuan T man that you had all seen, who Jethan seems to believe is responsible for this heinous crime, are sort of escorting him away, not overly roughly, but clearly they're going to go take him somewhere where he can be held for questioning. You see huddled in sort of two discrete groups. You see Lady Petra, who is still looking extremely shaken, sort of being comforted by her lady in waiting, who has just run up. She is a gold dragonborn. And then you see the groom to be sort of trying to comfort Petra as well, while another woman is sort of waiting somewhat anxiously behind him, looking over at all of you, looking over at him, just sort of taking in the situation. You see Kian kind of take Petra by the shoulders and speak quietly to her, and she sort of nods and takes a deep breath in and just sort of reaches up, and you can see the abrasion on his face from where the monster attacked. As she puts her hand up against his face, it glows very slightly, and when she takes her hand away, the abrasion has healed.
Just a point of clarification. Javed and Jasan are two different people.
That's correct. One of them is
Jasan is the dickish paladin.
That's correct, and Javed is the halfling captain of the guard.
And
One
he's
is
a friend
good,
of
the other is-
Zozo's as well.
Yes, that's correct.
The guard is, not the paladin, oddly enough.
The paladin's a dick.
The paladin's a dick.
Yes.
Yeah, Zozo doesn't really
Yes,
roll with
a
dicks.
complete yes.
You hear the woman who has stepped up behind Kian, the sort of lord of the manor. You hear her say, I'm sorry, sir, but your guests want to know what is going to happen now. We still have people due to arrive tomorrow. Are things going to proceed as planned? I realize this is quite an upset, but there are things in motion that simply would be rather difficult to undo now. And she just sort of looks there. She has this sort of cold demeanor. She's wearing this sort of slightly fancy, like turban-esque hat. And Belief, you recognize this as the palace steward and sort of Kian's like personal assistant. Her name is Mordat.
Ah.
How does Lady Petra react to that? Does she overhear that?
She's looking just kind of shell-shocked.
Yeah.
She doesn't really seem to be reacting to a whole heck of a lot, but you see the Dragonborn woman kind of nodding, like, yes, she seems to agree.
Zareen does?
Yeah.
She's agreeing like the show must go on sort of thing?
Yeah, that's the initial impression that you get.
Sure. Can I attempt to like slide up and just have a word with Lady Zareen?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll sort of attempt to like pull her aside, and I'll say, Lady Zareen, I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting yet, but surely you can't believe that your mistress is in any shape to have visitors tonight, at least tomorrow, perhaps. But don't you think they should cancel anything else planned for the evening and allow us to investigate what's happened here?
Excuse me? You see this very tall Dragonborn woman with this surprisingly delicate voice. Excuse me, I do not believe we have had the pleasure. Who are you?
Says, I am Corvel Benoit of House Benoit. I'm sorry to meet you under such circumstances. It would have been a pleasure. I'd have much rather met you on the dance floor than in this situation.
It's really hard to see a Dragonborn blush, but I think you see a little bit of like smoke curl out of her nostrils as she curtsies exactly appropriately to someone of your station, an Avarian-style curtsy, as a matter of fact. And she says, it is a shame. I would be delighted to make your acquaintance elsewhere. I agree with you that her ladyship is in no position to entertain this evening, and in fact, I believe it would be best for her health if we get her to bed straight away. But we must simply resolve this matter. I agree that an investigation must be put forward. And she kind of looks over Petra's head at Kian. She says, Sir, do you not agree? These fine people have helped us. Perhaps they would be the best suited to investigate such a tragedy. And you kind of see her blink a little bit coquettishly.
I say we're extremely qualified as I'm dripping wet from head to toe.
Kian sort of looks over all of you and kind of, as he kind of still keeping an arm around Petra, looks over and says, yes, thank you. I do not know what would have happened if you were not here. And he sort of looks off the stage toward the bodies of the several dead guards. Clearly, my people are not well equipped to deal with this. Please, you, I recognize, sir. And he looks over at you, Corval, and says, but the others, I am afraid I have not had the pleasure of meeting my saviors. You, sir, wear the livery of my house. And you hear Petra say, yes, this is my new tutor. And he sort of extends a hand to you in greeting, Belief.
Okay. I assume I know the appropriate type of bow or handshake for this situation, so yeah. I just kind of I give him the sort of brief formality that's required, and then I look to Petra, and I say, Lady Petra, I apologize if I was brief earlier. Before you depart, I would like to have a word. And then I sort of just step back a bit.
Yeah, she nods. And Kian sort of looks expectantly at the other three of you, clearly waiting for you to introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm I'm Chastity. I'm Belief's sister.
Yes, I
Charmed.
see the resemblance. And he...
How in-
I apologize. I mean no disrespect.
Well, I just think my brother takes after the father's side of the family.
Glare at you.
He smiles awkwardly and looks away from you.
Can I just
Smart
ask
man.
Can I just ask a quick question? I overheard you speaking about how it would be difficult to stop the planned activities that are coming. Is that just about the wedding, or are there other things that you have going on?
He looks sort of over his shoulder at the woman who said that. And says, well, there are many important people who have made a great journey to be here, and certain expenses that have been put in place. We need time to think about how we will proceed, but I do not know that we should let such a tragedy impact our plans for our future happiness. And he looks over at Petra and smiles.
Yeah, nothing like marrying the man you love after your mother's brutally murdered in front of you.
Chastity.
And then I walk away.
Zozo's gonna step up, and he didn't really notice that there was anything awkward. He just thought that they're done speaking now, and he should now speak. So he has some idea that these are, fancy people, and he's delighted that he gets to be there. So he'll go down on one knee and he'll say,
Thank you, Prince. I very happy to be at your house. Lots of art is here. Maybe I can see it later. I also have honor to help. Sorry about your mom.
and then he just bows awkwardly.
Kian is clearly struggling to figure out what to say, and he just says, thank you. But you see Petra kind of start laughing hysterically and kind of cover her mouth.
Zozo doesn't know what to do, but he figures that she looks happy, and so he steps back and he thinks he did the right thing for the most part.
Muhaka will place a hand on Zozo's shoulder for a moment, and then give the appropriate bow and say, I am Muhaka. I am just an entertainer.
And he sort of nods and smiles. I do not think just is the appropriate term given your role in the recent events, but it is a great pleasure to meet you. I hope
Likewise.
it will not be too much of an imposition for me to ask you to look further into these matters. It's clear, he points over at Belief and the sort of spellcasting ritual materials you have laid out, that you have the appropriate tools for such a situation. I will see to it that you are given free reign of the palace, and you will be rewarded if you can get to the bottom of this matter.
Oh, Zozo want to help. Seem like was bad sand thing? Don't worry, we help you.
Thank you, Zozo.
That's all he's got.
So, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Is Javed still floating around in here somewhere?
He and Jathan were taking that Yuan T man away, so they are gone at this point.
Gotcha. Okay. Make a mental note to talk to him later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if Petra is done laughing and unstably, she wanders away. I imagine that Zareen was fairly serious about that putting her to bed thing.
Yes. Yeah. You see, after he has finished sort of giving this pronouncement to you, Kian walks over and kind of gives her one more sort of reassuring pat, and you overhear as you're walking up to him saying, "We do not have to make this decision tonight. You can decide in the morning what you wish to do." I'm so sorry, Petra. And she just sort of nods and starts turning away with Sarin as you walk up.
Is he actually sorry?
Make an insight check.
Hey! I believe that's one of my trained skills, so that might be a 17.
17.
17! Ah.
Yeah. Yes, you definitely see that he does. He looks confused, he looks stressed. You get the feeling that he kind of doesn't know what to do. You also get the sense kind of in that interaction with Petra that he really does care a lot about her. But kind of doesn't like you get the sense that he's very awkward around her. But more because he doesn't really know what to do with himself than because of, like, strain in their relationship.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I like that. Like how? Yeah, I like that. I like that. How sorry is he? Okay, anyway. Okay.
Yeah, and he also clearly seems shocked and just like he's trying to hold it together because he's supposed to be in charge here.
And the whole exchange we had about the Sir Girl and what might be a curse, were the others around to hear it, or are we the only ones at present right now that knows about it?
As far as you can tell, they were all talking to each other, and you were reasonably close together, sort of bent over the circle looking at it, so it's very possible that they didn't hear you.
All right, Muhaka will say, well, he seems to... Go ahead.
I want to do like a history check to see if like when Muhaka was talking about the green sands, if that like any curses, especially since there was infernal lettering, like does that sound like anything I've heard in my hellish studies?
Abyssal rather than infernal.
Abyssal.
Which is demonic rather than devilish. Two different things.
Well,
yes, you can make a history check. You're not from this area, so it is going to be a higher DC.
Okay.
And then once you're done with that, I'm gonna have a word with Petra, as planned.
Absolutely.
Just check that.
Yeah. I might also have something to say.
18?
18. You've definitely heard of Elsidon, and the legend. I mean, this palace was supposedly built by him, and that had something to do with the formation of this desert. Basically, you've heard the story that Muhaka is talking about, but you don't really know any more details than what she was saying. You've probably, in fact, heard Muhaka tell this story before. Yeah.
Okay.
Belief. You walk up behind Petra?
Right. Yeah, and I just come up and just, gently say, Lady Petra, a moment, please, before you go.
Yes. Thank you for what you did. What do you...
I sort of hold up a hand and I say, please, I wish I could have done more. I am very sorry. Believe me when I say that I understand loss. And trust me when I tell you that I am taking this matter quite personally. I sort of gesture over at where everyone else is, because I sort of, Corvell, Sozo, Chastity, Muhaka. I say, I have reason to believe that there is still a threat here, unfortunately, specifically to you. Those, and I point them out again, like these people, I believe, I hope, are going to help, and you can trust them. But please be vigilant. I sort of think for a moment and then say, I am sorry that I never had a chance to ask this before this moment. I was supposed to tutor you in a number of subjects. Do you know how to use a blade?
And you see she still kind of almost reflexively has clutched in her hand that little dagger that she had earlier.
No, I remember, so yeah.
A bit. As much as anyone in my position, I suppose. I have some training, yes. But I would like more. And she sort of lunges forward and grabs you by the hand. She says, are you going to find the people who did this? The things that did this?
Yeah, I sort of pull back slightly, surprised. But then I say, as I said, Lady Petra, I am taking this personally. I will uncover what happened here. Or I will, well, be lost in the attempt. And as I said, my friends, associates, they can be trusted, and I believe that they will be willing to help as well. And then I kind of like awkwardly look around and down and say, we should speak again once you have had a chance to get a little distance from this.
What distance can I get from it?
Start with one night's rest and go from there.
I suppose I am supposed to be taking your advice. Very well, I will try. And you see her kind of turn, and she's got sort of her arms wrapped around herself. She's clearly very upset.
As Belief is having that talk with Lady Petra, can I talk to Zareen again? And Corvell will say, he's giving her the "Do you know how to use a blade" speech. It's, to be fair, it's one of his better speeches. And he'll just like try to make light of the situation a little bit with her. Like, do I get the read on Zareen? Like, does she seem like capable and like pretty competent, or is she very much so just like her? Like, I don't know. What's my read on her?
Make an insight check.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna be bad at that, but I'll try.
All the inside checks. Yes.
All the insight checks.
Perhaps if you performed insight.
I was gonna say last session it was performance, now it's insight.
I got a 2. I think she's a genius.
I was gonna say it's just kind of hard. Like, she's not wearing any weapons. She's very formally dressed. She clearly like knows her way around etiquette, but whether or not she has any sort of skills that would be useful for protecting Lady Petra, it's really hard to say at this point.
I guess more I was trying to read her in terms of like, is she like older?
Yeah.
Does she seem like sharp?
She seems like she's probably in her 30s. Hard to tell. She's dragonborn.
Right. Okay.
I'd like you also, since you've been talking to her, just make a charisma check.
Sure.
I want to know what kind of impression you're making on her.
Sure. Just flat charisma?
Yeah.
Okay. No proficiency then?
If you're proficient in persuasion, I guess I'll allow it.
Okay, so it's either a 14 or a 17 with the
Alright, 17. As you say that, she kind of looks over and she leans very close to you, Corvell, and she says, "Can I tell you a secret?"
She says, "I've been known to be extremely trustworthy."
Lady Souad was not supposed to be on that stage. It was supposed to be Lady Petra.
Thank you.
I am worried for her.
It's like, don't worry, there are a lot of people here. There are a lot of very capable people, and everyone's on their highest alert. Just try to do what you can to to relieve Lady Petra and to get some rest yourself.
I did not want to say anything because I do not want to frighten her.
Well, surely Lady Petra knows that spell was meant for her.
Her mother changed the schedule at the last minute. I don't know why, but I saw them having a fight earlier in the evening. I don't know what it was about.
Do they fight often?
Lady Souad was not the warmest mother in the world, but she wanted what was best for her daughter. But like many mothers and daughters, they did not see eye to eye on what the best thing was. She sort of raises her eyebrows at you like, you know.
She seemed lovely to me. Did one last question and then I'm sure you should be off. Did Lady Souad know anything of magic?
Oh yes. She was very accomplished. And all of her research is in her greenhouse. She did not let anyone else in there. But perhaps if someone did intend to harm her, it was because of what she was doing. That might be a good place to start your investigation.
I don't know, that sounds dangerous. We should seal it off and not let anyone go in there at all.
You must do what you think is best. And she kind of nods and turns after Petra and kind of walks away, her tail making her white dress kind of sway as she walks away.
Great, and I will share, I'll go back to the information that I gained with that.
A clue! A clue! We just got a clue! So I would just like to point out that for the record, I absolutely said that woman was not the target of the spell because she was too weak. And it looks like I was right. Sorry, my cat just went after something in a hunting mode and I thought there was a mouse. And anyways, that was that distraction.
It's not the only cat and mouse game going on.
Ooh, you know when they just go. I think that Petra is definitely in danger. And I think that she's probably strong enough for that spell, because did you see her creepy glowing eyes?
Yeah, maybe Lady Petra have a lot of skill we don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, it seems that the person we would ask is Belief.
Yeah, he know that lady.
I feel like we are skipping a step here, everyone.
What? Facts?
No, I think we're skipping past something even more than that. Are we doing this again?
Yeah, obviously, duh. Like, we already said that when we got into battle. Like, that's what that means. You draw arms, you're in it.
Okay. Are we...
I know that you're in it. Huh?
Are we committing to this, or are we going to walk away and leave people behind, or tasks unfinished?
Oh, someone's being passive-aggressive this morning.
I'm being serious.
I am too!
No,
First of all, you
are
commit
being-
to everything. Second of all, if you're bringing up the Aaron thing, we didn't leave him behind. We were shoved through a portal. That's kind of like a forced choice, or otherwise known as not a choice. Anyways, you're
yes
super
or
protective
no?
of... Yes.
Very well. Everyone else?
Yes, but you listen. You still feel bad. Sozo, no. You still feel bad about Aaron. You want to talk?
About this? Yes. About that? No. That is not
Well,
relevant.
Zozo, no.
Apparently,
And Aaron
it
in a
is
good
relevant.
place.
It is relevant. You carry it around like your fucking invisible imaginary friend.
Proof, who's sitting on a shrubbery, because there's definitely one of those, just says, agreed. And I glare at him. Anyway,
Corvell says we had this discussion too many times when we were younger, and it never got us anywhere then. Says, I don't see where it'll get us now. Let's just do what needs to be done.
Thank you, Corvell. I appreciate that.
Better to help Lady, but if you ever want talk, I can tell you my thoughts about Aaron and how he doing great now. Living great life in Portal. Just want to reassure you. My belief, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Zozo.
I love you too.
Okay. All right. So, moving on then. What was that about a greenhouse you were saying, Corvell?
Apparently the greenhouse is where Lady Souad practiced her magical arts.
I see.
We should go there and talk with the plants.
I don't know if that's the best idea. Muhaka, how do you feel about it?
I have tools in my arsenal that would be of help, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're retreading the past already, so we might as well get as well.
To the greenhouse.
We. It is not we.
Let go,
doing
greenhouse.
this.
All right.
Not we.
And I believe it's this way.
So you guys are setting off into the darkened garden.
Well,
Why not?
For sure,
This
yes.
the same
Yeah.
garden.
Oh yes.
Well, actually, quick question. We just had a battle. Do we need to, like, check our HP and take a minute?
I'm at
Before
half.
we go sticking our nosies into greenhouses?
yeah,
And
that's like,
whoever got temp HP, it's still there. Just saying.
right.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
last
it doesn't
playround-
go away.
It
It doesn't go away
It's
until
not very temporary, is it?
Yeah, so
No,
It's temp-
it's semi-temp.
it goes away when you take a rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would
Well,
you
that's
guys
when
like
you
to
rest.
take a short rest? That would replenish some of your guys' resources. Chastity, you would get your spells back. Muhaka, I believe at this level you would get your inspiration back.
Yes, it would. I believe
and
I
you
used
could-
2.
You could all heal. So you're welcome to do that if you would like. It is also late at night at this point. It's probably about 9 in the evening.
Not that late.
The sun has gone down.
Well, unfortunately, for the purposes of what I had in mind, the earlier we do it, the more we might get.
Will
So we
an
don't want to waste time.
will an hour impact that, or do you mean literally right now?
An hour should be fine. I believe.
can
Plus,
we
these
take
stinger
a...
foods are going to go to waste if we don't eat them. Somebody's got to.
It's a lot of buffet.
My guess is that an hour will likely not make that much of a difference in terms of danger to Lady Petra. This trap ritual, call it what you will, was extraordinarily complex, and I expect that whoever created it will need some time to readjust and come up with whatever their plan B is.
Are we all under the same belief that their plan did not go according to plan? That's like safe to say, right?
On some level, yes.
Yes, I think so. Since we have the word of this dragon lady, dragonborn person, that Lady Petra was the one who was supposed to be on stage, and there was a last-minute switch up, and then with your insight that she wasn't strong enough for the spell, that something went awry, I think.
It seems that she was being transformed into something else. Her body could not take it. It might be safe to assume that whatever it was that overtook my mind would have taken residence in her body, but it was unable to.
Also, quick question. if you were talking to plants,
Yes.
and that was what channeled this undead thing to possess you momentarily. What is
Well,
a plant zombie? Are there plant zombies?
Well, it is not the conversation with the plant. In order to converse with the plant, there is I have to open my mind up a little bit, which leaves me vulnerable, and so it might have used that as an opening to assault.
See, that's why you don't be vulnerable. Right, Belief?
Well, at the time, I did not think there would be anything that would take advantage of that.
I wonder. I agree wholeheartedly. Whatever was attempted here did not work. I just wonder if some aspect of what is bound here got out and is still free, or if it failed entirely. That's my only real concern and question at the moment.
Well, it screamed freedom, but is it like at half speed? Is it just like some like psychic entity running around and not like corporal? Was that the right word?
Corporeal.
Yes, it's not corporeal yet.
Possibly.
Or-
But this is all conjecture at this point.
We can know if we go to greenhouse, Lady Say. But Zozo maybe want to eat some buffet just for a minute.
We can certainly spend an hour, but you must understand, plants are not very complex. Faces, events do not matter. So the longer it takes for me to speak with them, they would remember less of the days before. As it is, I will only be able to know if the lady did anything the night before, up until the night before, if anything.
So you
But
guys
it
move
will be
back
So
over.
dumplings?
Yeah, you guys move back over. There is definitely still a bunch of food and drink. The servants have only sort of just started re-emerging to sort of clean this stuff away. Some of the guests, you see some of the guards have kind of filed out and are sort of keeping guests out of this area. You see most people look kind of shocked, but there are definitely a couple of people who are rubbernecking for sure. There's a ton of gossip going on. But there are still quite a bit, there's still quite a bit of food and drink left out in this sort of portico area. There are chairs and benches overturned from the mass exodus that happened when this attack took place. But you see the steward, again, with her sort of long wrapped turban headdress, approach with a few servants bearing trays. And she says, "Did I hear correctly that you were interested in taking some refreshment after your exertions?"
Dumpling.
Yes, we do have dumplings.
Oh, thank you. Nice lady. Thank you.
And he reaches out. He kind of tries to take delicately, maybe from the plate as well as he can.
Yeah,
his claws.
the servants kind of walk forward and just sort of put them down on a nearby bench and just sort of, she says, "Is there any other way I might be of assistance to you?"
Water.
Do you?
Kian Azaras, the lord of the manor, I saw you speaking with him earlier. He instructed me to do whatever I could to aid you.
Did
Do
Lady
you?
Souad, did she have an office that she worked in, an office of sorts that she worked from?
She spent almost all of her time out in the greenhouse. I'm not really entirely sure what she did there. She wouldn't let anyone come in, not even the servants, to clean it. Very private woman.
Did she
Only
keep
the
lock?
greenhouse.
Is greenhouse lock up with key to lock?
I can't say that I've tried to enter it. She made it quite clear that we want to do so.
Could we go there?
I am certain that you could. I could have some lanterns brought to you. The garden is quite dark this time of night.
Yeah, lights seem good. Yeah.
That's I assume that her ladyship has some sort of magical protections on the place. She's always rather jealous about her work. Trade secrets.
Who decided on the timing of the events? The schedule? Who worked on that originally?
It's quite a collaboration. I had some input, mostly to do with scheduling the performers, yourself included, I believe. And she sort of looks you up and down. But Zareen had quite a bit of input on what the proper time for all of these events would be. You kind of hear her kind of go into a rather accurate mockery of Zareen's voice. And of course, Lady Souad had her own input on the matter.
Was there anything that she was particularly adamant about?
Lady Souad was adamant about everything. Such was her character. Only the best for her precious girl.
Was there any particular interest that the lady was interested in? Like, was there things that she was obsessed with? Was it her heritage? Was it like plant-based magic? Like, why did she have this whole greenhouse? Like,
certainly I'm not privy to the secrets of the nobility, but she was a druid of some renown. So, plant-based magic, yes.
Was the greenhouse always here, or did she make it during...
She oversaw
after
the
they had
construction
come
of it
here?
herself once we arrived. It's rather new. It was the one thing she insisted I not be involved with. As I said, she was quite adamant about most things.
I apologize for interjecting, but do you know anything about what was in the location that the greenhouse currently stands?
I
A construction map, a construction things here, construction a thing here, blueprints.
Kinda,
well,
yeah.
I
I'm
have.
asking.
There are a number of documents that we have recovered about the historical layout of the palace available in the library. We haven't finished restoring it entirely, but those are the first documents we moved in for precisely that reference. I would have to go and check. But no, I believe the site was previously a temple, perhaps? A folly of some sort, I think.
Folly or temple, that one thing Zozo know. Folly no one pray at is pretend fake architecture for joke. Temple,
What?
people really pray there. It's not joke.
yes, this is
No.
important to
So
distinguish.
which one?
You see her eyebrows like go all the way up, sort of behind her headdress. She says, "Well,
Zozo.
different though they
Zozo
may
no
be,
architecture.
different though they may be in purpose, the layouts that they have on a blueprint are rather similar. So I'm afraid I couldn't
Fair.
say.
Portico, nave, weird statue. Zozo understand.
Just so.
Uh,
The original
Muhaka is definitely
structure,
a lot more
whatever it was, is definitely gone, or was when we arrived. So I'm afraid I.
So Zozo
couldn't
starts
say.
talking about their dissertation on the differences between certain architectural features from different periods.
Corinthian
it is
column,
art.
very fancy. Ionic column, less fancy. Seem masculine, like he just goes on and on.
As Zozo launches into this fantastic explanation of how columns work, I just would like to interject one last thing, which was, if you would, you said that perhaps there are old plans available in the library. I don't know if they will be useful or not, but on the chance that they do indeed become relevant, could you perhaps request they be brought out and be made available?
They are available in the library. I'm afraid my staff is stretched quite thin with the events. We have quite a number of unhappy guests who are running my people ragged. So, they're available to you in the library. She sort of nods curtly.
Do this shit yourself.
Yeah. I just
Besides, most of my people don't know how to read, so you're probably better off doing it yourself.
Okay. That one's burned. Just real quick before you go, do you have any idea of like what the temple was built, like who the temple was built for in the blueprints? Was there any like indication?
No, as I said, it was gone when we arrived, so I didn't think much on the matter. Perhaps there will be some clues in the documentation if you have a look.
And when did you guys arrive again?
Several months ago.
Just months, not okay.
Yes, less than a year.
So
Okay.
she built this greenhouse less than 1 year?
Oh yes. Spent
On
quite a
ancient
bit of
folly
money.
or temple site. Some people this unclear, I guess. Sorry.
She shrugs nonchalantly. She says, "I do hope you'll resolve this matter quickly. The guests are rather rabid to know what's going on."
We
So
will
to
do
the
what we
library
can.
then, or straight to the greenhouse?
The library can wait. The greenhouse. But first, you must rest.
You see her kind of
We
turn
must
away
rest.
and speak quietly to some of the servants, who sort of break off in different directions. A couple of them sort of go out into the garden. A couple turn and go inside. And as you guys are eating and talking, a few of them return, bearing lanterns and oil and things like that.
Good.
Cool. While we rest, I will do that thing that bards do and play a
Song
song
of
of inspiration.
Rest.
Yes, Song of Rest. I think is it still a D6? I've been trying to figure that out.
I believe so. It
I think so.
increases separately from your inspiration.
Everything else. Yeah.
While you guys take a short rest, I think we are going to take a short
Yay.
break.
You get 2 extra. Yay.
And we will pick back up in 5 or 10 minutes with the exciting next steps of our story. All right, we'll see you guys in a
The
moment.
cat's excited.
The cat's very excited.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. Last we left our heroes, they had just been discussing a plan of action, having been sort of appointed to investigate this mystery by the bride and groom to be, and they decided that the first place they wanted to check out was the greenhouse workshop of the woman who was murdered. After a walk through the garden with a lantern, as you make your way there, sort of the lantern light makes a little bubble around you, showing misshapen shadows of topiaries, beautiful hedges, and a few of those night blooming luminescent flowers, but they get fewer and fewer the further and further you are from the palace. You can hear the rushing sounds of water, of fountains, the gentle sound of wind through the trees. As you are walking, you get a sense for exactly how vast these gardens are. You can feel the wind blowing down from the mountains above and out beyond you, past this cliffside where the palace perches, and out over the green sand desert. Finally, following directions that Belief is sort of giving from memory, you all walk up a staircase that sort of forms a cool bridge over an ornamental stream. And past a row of neatly trimmed hedges, you can see a glass structure. The glass sort of reflects back the light of your lantern, seeming harder to see through than you might at first imagine. Strewn around, you can see a few pieces of rubble that are still sort of being cleared. Perhaps vestiges of what was once built here.
Are there any like any of the rubble that has markings on it or anything that could have told us like what it was for or who it was for?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. 19.
19. Yeah, as you walk in, you can kind of see one piece of stonework in particular. Looks like maybe it was a column. Zozo starts
A column, you say?
excitedly telling you what kind of column it is.
By the way, this column.
The capitals are actually carved in the shape of serpents. And you see some writing inscribed in it in Celestial.
Serpents and Can I do a religion check?
Yeah, sure.
On like celestials and serpents?
Were serpents ever seen with the house of?
Yes,
ever associated with the house?
The crest of the line of Elsadon is a gauntleted fist, sort of strangling a serpent, or
16?
crushing it. The iconography doesn't look religious to you, not necessarily for a particular god, but more like the kind of thing you might see on a monument of some sort.
Okay.
And I think, it's a pretty common celestial word, not common as in the language, but as in the adjective. I think you vaguely recognize it as something like remember.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
The 5th of November?
Who knows? The rest of the call was missing.
Hey, Muhaka, did Zozo forget? Did Elsadon kill Snake, kill Dragon, kill something? What they kill?
Ashen Fang was believed to be a terrible. Sorry, no, not Ashen Fang. Sorry, I'm confusing my. It is.
It's okay. I don't know
The
either.
the mother of monsters. That is what Ashen Fang is. The mountains, which is the red dragon. The mother of monsters, was specifically what he fought. And I don't believe there was ever anything about what the mother of monsters was.
You can make a history check if you would like, Muhaka.
Sure, I will make a history check.
Whoever the mother of monsters was, I'm sure she isn't very vengeful.
Yeah, surely not.
At all.
Yes, I don't know what to make you say that.
14.
14. You have not heard a description of the mother of monsters. It's sort of talks about kind of like the boogeyman. I think one description you've heard is that, she could take any form because the things she made were any form. And even sort of not giving her a name sort of lends to her unfixed nature.
Makes sense.
So
but
you saying not snaky thing?
Well, it is possible that given that she could, in some tales, take whatever form she wanted, it is likely that she could have been a snake. But the House of Elsadon is also known to their coat of arms had a fist crushing a snake, so it's also snake could be a very common part of their.
Yeah, but maybe like the fist is crushing the snake because he crushed the mother of monsters.
You all know that the line of Elsadon is famous for fighting monsters, just sort of throughout history, beginning with the heroic namesake himself. And Zozo and Muhaka, you both, I think, know from your studies that serpents and dragons are a pretty common stand-in for just generic monster in heraldry and art. Serpents in particular are a symbol of evil for whatever reason.
It's
What a bad rap.
symbolic.
Yes, I expect that if we want to know, simply ask Lady Petra. She might know about the origin of her own crest.
Ask your girlfriend.
That's hardly appropriate, Chastity. So while this is kind of going on, I telepathically tell Proof. I don't know what's in this greenhouse, but it very well might be dangerous, and I don't really want you going in. If you just sit on one of the trees out here and let me know if you see anything coming, I feel like that would be best.
And he kind of claws at you and banks off over the greenhouse to one of the trees on the far side.
Meanwhile, Muhaka is still going on about everything. It's like it's an academic argument anyway.
Zozo know about snake as symbol. Was asking about actual creature.
Which is what I'm trying to explain. That I am not aware of what it could actually be.
Okay.
They love to argue semantics.
While they're arguing
It's just like
semantics,
old times.
It's just like art school all over again.
while they're arguing semantics, I'm gonna go up to the door and look for a trap before I open, like cast detect magic.
Oh, absolutely. You walk up
Or
and
yeah,
you cast detect magic.
no, actually, I drag Belief up to cast detect magic because I have dispel magic.
Don't you have detect?
Uh-huh.
Can't you cast detect magic at will? Did you take that one?
Can I?
Oh no, you took the
don't
mage
think
armor
so.
one. Sorry.
Yes.
No, I took mage armor. I'm constantly protected.
Yes.
Fair.
Yeah, the twins get dragged up to the door.
The one twin. So yes, like hold on. I was just
As
about to. I was
The
just
three
about
of you are
to.
over here looking at this piece of rubble.
Jeez.
Just do it. And I'm gonna look for manual traps
Okay.
while he's doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. I sort of like push my glasses up my nose, and then I'll cast detect magic.
How do I look
Chastity,
for traps?
go ahead and make an investigation check.
While Chastity's doing that, can I ask how tall the greenhouse is?
Yes.
I rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
Good heavens.
One.
It's to answer your question, Corval. It's
Sorry, good hells.
oh gosh.
Thank you.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
It's about 50 feet by maybe 75, and it's about 25 feet tall. It's sort of arched. It's a metal structure covered in panes of this treated glass. It's quite large.
Ooh, there's see-through?
Um,
I think so.
Weirdly, no. They're sort of reflective a little bit, and you catch kind of a sheen. Belief, you can tell that not only is the glass magical, but there is a lock, a sort of spell on the greenhouse. And Chastity, you can tell the door is not trapped, but definitely locked. And your brother sort of looks over at you and confirms that it is also magically locked.
Okay, so then I'll cast dispel magic.
Okay. Do you need to roll
Or-
for this? No, I'm just gonna look it up.
Yeah.
Corbella's just like up against the windows, like trying to like peek in, like trying to look in.
Yeah. At some point while I'm waiting for Chastity to cast the very lengthy spell magic, I just kind of glance over you and I'm just like, it's magic.
Sorry.
Does it-
I'm pretty sure this is a 4th level spell. For some reason.
Arcane lock?
If it's arcane lock, that's 2nd level.
Ooh, no, it is not.
Okay.
Okay.
Make a charisma check.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
That seems
Hopefully,
bad.
hopefully.
I mean, better than an int or strength check.
This is very true.
Does anybody would like inspiration? Because, but, it's fine.
Charisma is my specialty. Oh God, I got a 14.
That is not
I got
enough.
a 14 with my +7. Can I have inspiration?
You have to
I would
roll.
have to.
Yes.
Your bardic inspiration before.
I know.
Sorry.
Chastity, you cast Dispel Magic, but whatever this spell is, it's stronger than what you have cast.
Yeah, I'm just sort of standing there and just like, no.
Okay, well, that's what I have. I mean, we could just try opening it and see what happens.
Was Chastity hurt?
No.
No. Okay.
No, the force of her spell simply was not sufficient to overcome whatever is locking down this.
Can Corval kind of take a walk around the perimeter as they're checking out the front lock?
Sure. Are you taking one of the lanterns with you?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, absolutely. What's Corval looking for?
Well, it doesn't seem like he could see in. Well, no, I think he would be looking. Another entrance seems like unlikely, so I guess he's just really trying to get if there's anything suspicious.
All right. Make a perception check.
Sure. Corval's not very perceptive, just for the record.
And actually, while Corval is doing that, there's actually something I'd like to look as well. Let's see what happens here first.
Yeah, Corval, you're just sort of walking around.
I take a
the
lap around the
perimeter.
building. Yeah.
Nothing really sticks out at you. The glass is like weirdly shiny. You can definitely see your reflection. You notice
Yeah.
you're still kind of like your outfit dried kind of funny from your dip in the ponds. You're kind of rearranged.
Yeah.
Actually, so quick question though. Sorry, I wanted to look for. So you said that the individual panes of glass are magic as well?
Yes.
Okay.
You sense a minor bit of transmutation magic on the glass. Pretty standard stuff you would guess was just manufactured magically.
Sure.
And then you also sense an abjuration spell kind of on the whole building.
Oh, okay. It's on the entire building. Okay. For a second, I thought it was like per window, and I was going to look and see if there was one that had been tampered with, but I'm not sure if that makes sense now.
You can certainly try.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Yeah. In the absence of something else obvious presenting itself, I might sort of see Corval going around the building and then wait a beat and follow along behind him, but not looking at the building so much as looking at the magic that is on the building and seeing if it's intact.
Sure. Make a perception check.
Can do. Not well, but I can do it.
You don't trust me to take a look, Belief?
He's like, and I just I'm looking at the building and I sort of distracted. Well, you can't see in the dark, and last time I checked, you can't magic, so I just wanted to double check your work.
I think Zozo wants to walk behind them too, since Corval walked. He, a little bit like a dog might follow Corval goes, and he wants to look around too and see what he can see.
Zozo, do you have dark vision?
Actually, I don't know.
Okay, for the record, I got nothing, by the way.
Yes, I saw you have a 5. You two were kind of distracted by taking the piss out of each other.
Yeah, that's fair, actually.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, no, that tracks.
Okay,
not so
go ahead
much
and
the
roll a
investi-
perception check, Zozo.
Okay. Yes, and yes, I do have dark vision.
Great.
By the way.
Yes, then you can make the check regular.
Zozo, savior of us all.
Save my what?
yes.
Oh God, that's sad. 8.
Yeah,
Do it
I
better
think
than us.
you're distracted by the two of them bickering.
Dang, three stooges out here.
I have a question. Does Zozo wear boots?
Yeah,
Okay.
he definitely wears boots.
For no reason.
Yeah, I mean, he wants the outfit to be complete.
Cool.
Is the reason. They might be like boot tops, you know, like you wear on like a like the superhero costume.
Yes.
Oh, I meant the DM asked you that for no reason, but maybe it was just to get a picture of what you were like.
I don't know. Seems harmless to me.
Quick thing, not so much walking around the building, but focusing on the door. A lot of time, magic, as Muhaka has studied it, magic is often you need to concentrate on it to provide it power constantly. She is dead, which means she can't provide that power, which means there has to be something that is powering it, like a rune perhaps, and she would like to try to see if she can find this, where she might have carved it on the door,
Yeah,
or
okay.
somewhere close by.
Make a,
Please say investigation.
make an investigation check.
Yay! It is one of my better skills.
Or Arcana, your choice.
Investigation is better.
I'm investigating the magic.
So that is a 20.
20. All right. I think as you're sort of pacing back and forth, however you would process olfactory information, I'm not sure if you can smell.
I don't necessarily breathe it in that everyone else uses their nose. It just kind of seeps into me and I absorb it.
I think what you absorb is a scent, a lingering scent of like incense. And you get the feeling that maybe this is a spell that when you cast it, it just lasts for a while. But that it was probably cast earlier today,
Because she just casts it every day.
presumably.
So
We just lost Ainsley.
if we can't find it, if we can't break in given time, it will fall off on its own because it has to be recast. This is good to know. I also realized that I have used up my stores of magic and I cannot actually speak with plants at the moment. Okay.
So, wait, are we saying that if we just wait until the morning, it might be gone?
Yes, actually. Like I said, magic often has to be powered, which I'm sure you know. And since she's dead, she cannot provide the power, and eventually that will fade. If you sense there's incense in the air, that tells me that she used it sometime on this day.
But this is a very powerful spell. The duration of it could be for days and days.
Perhaps. But
What do you think would happen if we just like open the door? Can I just look at the door and see if there's any runes carved in it?
Great question.
You already examined it. You don't see any like distinct runes or anything. No.
If the glasses...
Based on my lack of able to dispel it, do I have any inclination of what this could be?
It's definitely a powerful abjuration spell of some kind.
Like knowing.
I don't. It's not a spell that is available to you, and so I don't know that you would be able to identify it per se. Because normally an arcane locking spell would only lock one door. Hi, welcome back. But this seems to be sort of protecting the whole building.
I guess what I'm wondering is, do I think like violence will become me, or it's just locked?
Because this is made of glass, if you could break through the glass, like an arcane lock functions by making it like unable to be opened, but it doesn't necessarily protect it from being broken.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna go, everybody back up, and then I'm just going to Eldritch Blast the glass.
Okay.
That seems right.
Saw this coming. All right.
How long do you wait between when you say that and when you fire?
Roughly 3 seconds. Maybe 5.
Okay. I'm
Like,
not gonna,
I give them a breath.
I'm not gonna make you roll to hit the broadside of a barn. So just go ahead and roll damage.
It's very generous of you.
So it's like 2 hits, though,
Yeah.
right? I'm just gonna roll them both together if that's okay with you.
Yes, that's fine. They're firing in quick succession.
That's not how we work this. Okay, cool. 16.
16 points of damage? Okay, 1 second.
Yeah. I had
I just
step
need to
back.
look slightly.
Do not like resorting to breaking the windows.
I mean, we came all the way here.
I think time is of the essence. I would have preferred not to, but needs must.
Yes, and speaking of that, it seems that my stores of energy, I used up a good majority of it in trying to make sure that the demon to fell the demon, and it seems I might not have enough to actually speak with the plants tonight.
Well, we could always take a plant.
Oh.
You all feel the energy shudder into the greenhouse, and some of it disperses off to the side, sort of channeled around this glass. And you duck as sort of a wave of it washes off, as if repelled by the glass itself. But Chastity, just enough of it gets through to sort of punch a hole in the front door by where you are standing. It's not a very big hole. It's probably, a couple inches in diameter, but it would be enough for you to try and get your hand through.
And that's how you dispel magic, folks. And then I stick my hand in and unlock the door.
My sister, everyone.
Yes, we're aware that she's your sister.
I quit. No.
Good job.
I had a feeling the way into a magical glass house with magical stones. So yeah, very good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Deep.
So, Chastity, you're going to open the door. Will you make me a sleight of hand check?
Mm-hmm.
Does it help if I have lock picks?
No,
If I'm proficient in lock picks?
This is about you getting through the door and not cutting yourself as you're trying to open it.
Just be careful, I say that.
I'm goth.
Put a hand on your shoulder and I will give you some bardic inspiration.
Wait, do I roll my bardic inspiration now?
You can.
I think you can do it after.
You can make the roll and then choose to add it if you want.
Yes.
I'm gonna add it.
Add it. D8.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, it's not gonna improve it by much, but hey!
Well,
Yeah.
that qualifies as much in my book.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's going to be a 13, which is a success. You managed to kind of hold your breath as you're snaking your way through and open the door from the inside, and it creaks open. And you guys can now see what is inside.
Bardic inspiration on foot that we're in.
Shine the lamp inside the greenhouse.
Yes, and you can all begin to make your way in. There is a spray of broken glass on the floor inside.
A clue.
Well, directly inside the door, from where Chastity blasted it open, and this palm tree has a big scar on the trunk now.
No.
That's not.
That's fine, it's just a plant.
Everyone be careful, there's another fountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inside you see several long tables lined with orderly rows of plants, some with beakers and books. Clearly this looks like a workshop. And in the back, behind a fountain, which looks considerably older than the rest of the things in here, you can see an array of tables, some with books and such things.
Okay, so I want to.
Hold the thought for just a half second, because I step in as well and sort of look around, which hopefully it hasn't been the full 10 minutes just yet, and I've got a little bit of detect magic left just to see if there's anything obvious, like on the table or on the floor in front of us.
Yes, several of the plants. There is one to your left, which is one of those bioluminescent ones. It's giving off some magic. Yes, that's right. And there are a few. That's probably the biggest thing. I think there might be a few of the instruments on the back table, giving off faint auras of magic. And there's definitely still that aura from the spell that's protecting the greenhouse, and the aura from the glass. That's most of what you get, though.
If we bring the princess in here, she'll be the most safe.
What?
This
Why?
place is highly guarded.
It was until we busted a hole through the defenses.
Good
I
point.
can mend the door. That is not a problem.
Yeah, but we can't recast that spell, can we?
No, but the spell is still up.
I would feel a little, frankly, I would feel better with her in a place that we know more about. There are still a lot of questions about this place and what was done in it that are unanswered.
Yeah, I don't trust this place at all. It's some, like, druid psycho lady's lair.
Yes, there's also definitely a skull in that.
Yes, there is. There's an animal still. Yeah, the greenhouse on the inside, you realize that one of the reasons that you were having trouble seeing in is that it's completely overgrown with vines.
Wait.
So
it's very orderly, except the walls are
No, they're trained on like trellises and things like that. And up at the ceiling, and sort of strategically, there are holes for windows to let light in. But yeah, and you can see like little tags on some of the trellises. Yes.
What's this?
As you move further in, I think Muhaka at this point is the only person who can see it. You can see there's something in front of the fountain that has been knocked over and looks like it's been shattered.
What is it? A beaker?
It looked like some sort of maybe decanter or jug, maybe like a watering can, made of glass.
I look at my brother. I look at Belief. Did you do this?
Water?
I presume you didn't mention it before, so magic.
It's
is
not.
It liquid?
Yeah, it looks like it was full of water when it broke.
I'll go crouch down next to it and prod at the pieces just to see if there was like any writing on it or any indication that there was like anything unusual.
Make an investigation.
Well, he does that.
What was that, Liza?
Make an investigation check.
Cool.
And what were you
Will
saying,
do.
Chastity?
Well, he does that. I want to check out what Muhaka's doing.
Okay, the two of you are going over to that desk.
So many things.
You can
or this diary.
You can either
Or that diary.
You can either both make investigation checks, or one of you can make an investigation check with advantage. Your choice.
I have a +1 to investigation, so if you want to have advantage, if you have more than that.
Sure. I will take advantage.
All right. Well, you roll that. Reed, it looks like you got a 16.
True.
Well, that is a 26.
Very nice. All right, we'll address that in a moment. The thing that strikes you about this, you don't see any like writing on the glass or anything. It just looks like it was like made of glass. You can see like maybe some markings where it was like gradiated, like you could measure with it. But what strikes you is that this water doesn't look like it's evaporated at all. It looks like this happened
Oh, that's
recently,
interesting.
like within the last hour,
Hmm.
because it's fairly warm. Especially in here, it's quite hot and humid.
How long has it been since she died?
Just over an hour.
Wait, yeah, if this was like an hour or so ago, then yeah, this would have been when she had to die.
I think it's been less than an hour though, right?
No, you
About
guys.
it's over an hour. We took a short rest.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this you
That's
are
at least
able
more
to
news.
deduce that this happened after Lady Souad's death, most likely.
That's what that's what I was doing.
Right.
Zozo, what do you make of this statue?
Hang on.
Zozo's gonna come over and take a look.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Just you gonna maybe think about its art.
Yeah, you can make a history check if you want to try and like identify what or who it is a statue of.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Sadly, Zozo's not so proficient in history, strangely enough. Art history, yes, but there's no special role for that.
Who made this game? There's a role for art history.
Yes,
In real
Meanwhile,
life, it was my
petition to make art history.
Muhaka, you and Chastity are sort of poring over the books on the table. Most of them are written in a language neither of you understand. And a lot of them seem to be notes and calculations. You see drawings of plants, cross sections. You're willing to hazard a guess that the language is probably Druidic, given the nature of it, and that it's very unlike anything you've ever seen. However, you're able to find under the table, sort of haphazardly dropped, a book that looks like it's hastily had a bunch of pages ripped out.
Okay.
And poking around, you find sort of caught under the table leg, as though it had been missed, one piece of paper.
Oh.
Ooh, I'll take the piece of paper. Thank you.
It is written in common.
Yay!
Common.
I speak that. It's a very common language.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second and I will show it to you. Oh, you probably can't see this very well, can you?
I can.
Ooh, cool.
Can you read it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm just having trouble reading it. I think my computer, for whatever reason, is being a little funky. Would someone like to read it for me?
Sure, I guess since I found it. Something about this place infuses the plants with an unnatural life and richness. The soil, the water, and the very air vibrates with life. If the source could be traced or distilled, it could prove invaluable to my work, and great. After the wedding is finally over, I will have more time to devote to the endeavor. If only the full library collections hadn't been sold, I am sure there would be records of the source of this aura of vitality. It may even have been why Elsidan first built the palace here, beyond the romantic distortion of the legends.
Yes, this looks like maybe a diary entry of some sort. The book is small, and could well have been a diary. The handwriting, though in a different language, looks similar to the rest of the notes.
But it's in Druidic or something.
No,
the rest
it's
of the writing.
the rest of the writing. Yeah, all of the like technical notes and things.
Okay.
Is it an uncommon?
Exactly.
Given that everything else in this desert has a hard time growing, the fact that with this palace regains the ability to make plants not simply grow but flourish, that would be an interesting. That would be interesting.
Ladylike plant, yes.
Zozo,
so
what did you
true.
get on your history check?
15.
15. You are pretty sure that the figure who is sort of clutching in both hands a writhing serpent, which is then spewing water down into the basin, is most likely Elsidon.
Oh, everyone, listen, this great hero, Elsidon, this done in ancient style, you note a little stiff, early mid-kingdom of green area. Note hands, you see grasping, look kind of blocky, probably was made with different and he just goes on and on about the techniques. Yeah. Anyway, great hero.
Yeah, you can see strapped across his back is his signature shield, the sword hanging from his side, and the eyes are downcast, looking contemplative and kind of sad. Meditative, perhaps.
Corvel's kind of like kneeling beside the fountain and is just like seeing how deep it is and seeing if it would provide a place to tactically retreat if he needs to.
Make a perception check.
Looking to go on another dip.
Yeah, deep on several levels.
11.
It's hard to tell exactly how deep it is. You stick your hand in and it goes a decent way down, maybe, a foot or two, and then you sort of hit the bottom. But you can feel sort of something like bubbling up from below as well as above.
Weird.
Yeah, it's an unusual fountain.
Can Zozo see if this is a magical fountain of any kind, or was it a regular fountain? Or was it really just an art history check?
Yes, it just appears to be a fountain.
Can I check for like a secret latch or something around the fountain? Like maybe it moves.
Yeah, making.
Maybe it's a trap door.
Give me just 1 second here. Muhaka,
Yes.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god, why is it always me? It's not gonna be good, guys.
Because you're the vulnerable one. I told you, vulnerability is not great.
14?
That is a success. As you're
Awesome.
sort of leaning over investigating this, you see there's a flower, an orchid, in a pot next to you that has 3 beautiful, different colored blooms, and one of them has sort of swayed, and just you see a plume of.
Oh, it's poison.
Ooh, no.
Good. I
And
would actually
then
have
I
had
need you
advantage.
to take to make a dexterity saving throw. As the
Understand that's
second
the-
blossom swivels in your direction, a yellow one this time.
Is this the thing that's attacking her?
Yes.
Venus flytrap.
Purpose. Oh, that's even better. That is a 20.
Yeah, you see the of the poison, and then dodge out of the way as the other one sort of swivels into position, and you see a stream of acid just out of it. And
So
then
I'll say yes.
finally, as you jump back. Oh no, sorry. I messed everything up. 1 second. As you jump backward, I have just way too many windows.
Well, we are in a greenhouse.
Yeah.
Does a 20 hit you?
Nah, I have like one AC.
All right.
Yes, it does.
You take 4 points of piercing damage
Oh,
as a third flower latches onto you and long stamen wrap around you, and you are grappled.
what's that
We are
spot?
being attacked by the plants.
I need everyone to go ahead and roll initiative.
Knew it was coming.
Muhaka just looks at you. We're being attacked. Because it wasn't obvious.
Oh, I got a 20.
I got a 24.
Look
Wow,
at you guys.
nice.
Man, I got a 22.
I was so excited.
My one crit of the
13.
session is going to be on initiative, guys.
Yeah.
Can't really...
Not bad. You're the one being grappled.
No. Go on.
Oh wait, I took it from my temp HP. I'm good. Ha ha ha.
Oh ho ho.
Belief, what did you get?
18, I believe.
18. Alright, give me 1 second here.
Nice. So, fun fact, Muhaka has the Inspiring Leader feat, which means everybody has temp HP. Huzzah!
No. Not right now.
How much do we get?
We dealt with this over the break.
We did it before. I was just
Oh, I thought the 8 was for... I thought the 8 was for something else.
2 HP, and then that is your actual HP, and then you have 8 temporary hit points from when we rested. So you have 8 temporary hit points. If anything hits you, it's going to go off the temp HP first, and then it'll start cutting into your hit points.
Alrighty. At the top of the initiative order, we have Muhaka. This flower is grappling you.
I don't like it, but I am going to do a thing, and that thing is... I am going to cast Bane.
Bane, okay.
Yes.
That affects creatures within what range of you?
Maybe 30 feet.
30 feet. Alright, and that's a nice charisma saving throw, is it not?
Yeah!
Okay.
And it's 3 creatures within 30 feet.
Yes, it most certainly is. Okay. What is your saving throw?
It is 14.
Alright. Yeah, the plant here in front of you rolls a -4. So it is definitely under the effects of a Bane spell.
Watch one rolls a crit.
Alright. Yeah, we see this wave of energy flow out from you as the Bane takes hold of the flower in front of you and it sort of flails awkwardly.
Are there any other plants that seem to be affected?
None seem to be.
Well,
It's a
now we know
loaded
what that
seam.
is. It would seem. And I got nothing for my. That's an action. I got nothing for my bonus action. So I am
Alright.
done.
Alright. Next up in the initiative order is Chastity.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the shit out of this thing.
Roll the hit.
Do. Hit 1 is a 13, and hit 2 is a 20.
Both hit. It's a plant.
Yeah.
I don't know that it can move.
I don't know. It can grapple.
It sure can.
Yeah, it's not like every other plant.
Yeah.
It's unique.
And then... so 20 points.
Oof.
20 points
Oof.
of damage. Yeah, it is completely obliterated.
Oh well, that was
Excellent.
well, okay, cool.
Wait, so I killed a thing. Does that count as killing?
Yeah.
Does that count for something?
It's a creature, so yes.
Something
Absorb
happens.
its life.
You
I
get,
absorb it.
You get,
But you get-
temporary HP, I believe, which
Yeah.
will replace the temp HP you have from Muhaka.
So how much temporary?
You might just want to keep
it.
Muhakas.
Yeah, you probably, I believe it's your level?
Oh, I'll keep Muhaka.
Yeah. You guys watch as the purple smoke smashes into this plant, and as it withers and dies, a little bit of its energy flows back on the reverse, sort of spiraling smoke track and up into Chastity.
Corvell just turns his head and he's like, "Is something happening?"
No. Just a bothersome plant that needed to be weeded.
Corvell, it is your
further-
turn.
Yeah. As I'm looking around, is anything happening?
You can use your action to make a perception check if you would like.
Okay, yes, I would like to do that. I would specifically like to look up. I don't know why.
Smart.
I just would like to look up.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Again, for the record, not great at this.
How dark is it in here?
3. I got a 3.
You guys have lanterns with you, and there's a decent amount of reflective light. Corvell,
Okay,
you are
just
looking
checking.
up, and that is why when something snakes out from under the table and begins to wrap around you, you don't see it
Well,
That makes perfect sense.
until it's too late.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Does it happen to be?
I'm like, there could be dangers all around.
Does a 14 hit you?
It does not actually. I have a 15, just barely.
You, I think you feel it before you see it. Something reaching out to start wrapping around you.
Yeah.
And you jump out of the way just in time as you see this vine writhing out from under the table.
I do that.
I think that's all it can do on its turn, though. Yep, that's it. Okay. Next up in the initiative order, Belief. You see Corvell jump back from this thing.
Okay. Well, my immediate reflex, honestly, is to look under the table. Where's this vine coming from?
It's just sort of sprawling along the floor. You can see it's kind of trailing backwards, and you can see a little bit of a path of dirt on the floor where it had slithered over from where it was hiding on the wall
Oh.
among the other vines.
No,
Cool.
I know.
That is a delight, is what that is. Okay. I'm gonna also, I think, much as the one divine is terrifying enough, I think I'm going to cast about a bit and see if we're being surrounded. So I'd kind of like to, staying low, I'd like to just sort of turn around and sort of scan under the other tables, see if I see any other vines slithering towards us.
Sure, make a perception check.
Yeah, and as we all know, that is my particular area of expertise. That's not true. Nope. Well, the good news is there's only one.
You're, well,
Apparently.
Here's the thing, Belief. There are vines everywhere.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
surrounded, maybe.
Yeah, no, I was getting that. Oh, but sorry, just to clarify though, can I at least see, are there vines covering the floor, or is it the walls, like you were saying?
I think, as you're looking around, you're just taking in all the vines on the wall, and there's patterns of serpents on the floor in the stonework.
Oh, joy.
So, and you see a couple
Hard
of
to
those
tell.
and mistake them, so you're like, oh, what's up? What's down? What's vines? What's stone? Who knows?
Yeah, alright, so I just turn around, look around, and it's they're everywhere. It's I pull my sword. And,
They're in the goddamn walls.
yeah. I will, I guess I will sort of back up against the fountain, I suppose, in the absence of safer terrain. But yeah, that's kind of all I got. Yeah. Yeah, get in the water. I think that's the winning move here, Corvell.
The fountain's bubbling.
Yes, it is.
I'm not sure that I know that.
All right, Zozo Bob, take it away.
Ainsley, I think you're muted.
I am. Zozo is going to take out his shield, and probably walk up a little bit closer to Corvel because the vine is still holding him, right?
It reached out for him and he nimbly dodged out of the way.
It didn't hit him. Can we still see it out there?
Yes, it revealed itself in its attack.
Whirling around. What a jerk. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna come up and try and give it a whack with my greatsword.
Give it a whirl.
Do it.
Just gonna give it
Flag.
a whirl.
Sounds great to me.
One. That was a 26.
That
Pretty good.
definitely hits.
Absolutely hits.
Well, good.
Okay. Hold on, let me roll my damage. That is 5.
Plus your strength.
You're right, plus my
Wait, what are you using? A greatsword?
It's 2d6.
Oh yeah, it should be
It's
2d6.
plus 4, actually.
Yes. So go ahead and re-roll that. I was like, that seems so low.
Like, what
Yes.
weapon do we have that does 2d4? What is this?
It's a double-bladed scimitar.
Awesome!
Which
I don't
is a
know,
real
yeah.
weapon and does do
It's a
2d4 damage.
broadsword. Little better than a
Oh.
longsword. Ooh.
Just
That's
a
better.
little better.
That's
a
better.
lot more.
16. Not that much better.
Just a little better.
A little better. Just a little.
Yeah, you take a big chunk out of it and you see a couple of leaves and some sap sort of start oozing out of this thing as it writhes horribly alive and snake-like. It makes no sound, but just slithers and coils back on itself away from your blade.
Oh, so
I
it's
hate it.
backing away. Oh, I totally hate it. Can I grab my shield again?
Yes.
Or do I have to hang on to my...
You can use a bonus action to change out your weapon set, because
Cool.
greatsword requires 2 hands.
I know, that's why I asked, because
Yes.
I have to switch out.
Wait, don't
Um,
you have
it's
extra
only-
attack?
It's not mechanically backing away. That was just my flavor text. It's still in the same space.
Oh, got you. Okay, so it's still in the same space. I'll
Yes.
hold on to my sword then.
All right, you have a second attack if you would like to take it.
Yes, so I will take it. I'm gonna take another whack.
Whack it real good. Dun, 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 dun.
Sorry, this is super fiddly.
No worries.
I'm using another computer. 14.
14 does hit.
Oh, okay.
It's a plant.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not very hardy.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It is literally a plant.
It's a vine. So go ahead and give us that sweet, sweet damage.
It's divine.
Yep, give me 1 second. Eight.
8 more points of damage. Excellent. All right. Would you like to take any movement on your turn? I assume you're actually in this space.
And so it didn't really, it kind of slithered away, but it didn't really.
Yeah, it's sort of like flailing in and over itself, coiling and uncoiling, trying to dodge you and not doing a very good job.
Okay, so I'm probably just going to stay right next to Corvel for the moment.
Sounds good. All
I'll protect you.
Good.
Okay. Belief, what is your armor class?
Inadequate. Let me check.
Is it higher than a 13?
Yes.
I think you just dodge out of the way as another one of these things falls out of the tree next to you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That. Cool.
1 second.
Coming out of the trees.
Yes.
Also.
It drops out of the tree next to you and tries to sort of wrap around you, but doesn't do a very good job, even
Yeah,
with advantage.
Oh, isn't this just magical?
Yeah.
Literally.
That's its turn, however. They're not very fast. Muhaka,
Yes.
you are up next. Sorry, I didn't hear any of that, Anastasia.
Alright. I am going to... Actually, I'm just gonna cast Bane again.
Okay. Yeah, it's very
As
unlikely
the
that-
energy kind of unleashes again. There's 2.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully there's no more, but I would like to deal with these ones first.
That, the first one rolled a 0, and the second one rolled a 3. Yeah,
They are Bane.
last time they rolled a natural 20 and a natural 19, which is the only way they avoided it.
Those little...
So they are both under the effects of Bane. Again, we see the energy lash out from Muhaka, and this time you can see it wrap around the vines and kind of wither, and a couple of the leaves turn brittle.
Fantastic, and then, Corvel,
Yes.
start doing things, please.
Muhaka, I don't want to alarm you, but I think the plants are attacking us.
Do something about it. Only you can. It's all up to you.
That sounds more like pressure than inspiration.
I mean, either or.
I mean, Corvell was convinced that he was in the middle of saving the day, so...
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, there's definitely that sarcasm was entirely on purpose.
Yeah. We just need you to save harder. That's all. You know.
It's a little harder. Just do your best. Have a bardic inspiration.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Any movement on your turn, or are you good?
Gonna step right on the edge. Nah, I'm gonna go there. I'm not
Okay.
gonna step on the edge of the fountain because something's gonna hit me and then I'm gonna fall in and it's gonna be a whole thing.
It'll be a whole thing. You'll have to clean your armor. It'll be gross. Chastity.
Okay, so can I, since I have 2 Eldritch Blast, I can put them at 2 different targets?
That's correct.
Okay.
This one right here has cover from you because of the fountain.
Okay. Is this one more, but this one is more damaged, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna shoot that one first
Sounds good.
and see what happens. Does a 9 hit?
It does not. I think it's very low to the ground, and your shot is just a little too high.
Okay, well that makes me mad, and I'm gonna shoot it again.
Okay.
21.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll some damage.
1d. Oops. 6.
6 points of damage. Excellent. Yeah, the first
Is it dead?
strike goes high. No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
You keep seeing bits of vine kind of fall off, but this thing is long and coiled. And there's still a good bit of its mass left.
Okay, one quick thing, sorry.
Sure, yeah. Any bonus action or movement you would like to take?
That's what I'm looking at. I definitely think I want to move.
Sure. Move yourself wherever you would like to be, as long as it's within 30 feet.
I want to move where I can see both of these plants.
Okay,
On top of the table.
probably the best place is gonna be like over here to see both of them. Yeah.
Balance on top of the fountain.
Just
Yeah,
climb on top.
okay.
You'll be see everything.
Like here?
Yeah, you can definitely see both of them there. This one has a little bit of cover because of Corvell, but not very much.
That's okay, I should pass them.
Okay.
Okay.
Any bonus action, or are you all set?
Can I, is calling my packed weapon a bonus action?
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna call it, so it's, what?
It's actually an action to
Oh,
invoke
is
the
it?
pack weapon. Yep.
Ah, dang
It
it.
it is arcane eldritch knights who have a bonus action.
And I think Hexblades as well.
Possibly.
Maybe. Yeah, so unfortunately, no. Thank you, Reed.
Thanks, Reed.
Yeah,
All
Reed.
right. Next up in the initiative order, we have Corvel.
Okay, so I've deduced that these plants are attacking us, and I'm gonna unsheath my rapier and, well, I assume I already have a rapier out, but for flavor, I'm gonna unsheath my rapier and start hacking at the one in front of me and stabbing down towards the ground at it.
Absolutely. Make an attack.
Boom! Does 18 hit?
It sure does. And because Zozo is threatening it, you do get that sweet, sweet sneak attack.
Awesome. So that's for 17 damage.
Nice.
Is it still up?
It is.
Okay. Then can I attempt to stab it with an offhand dagger?
Do you have an offhand dagger drawn?
I'll say I didn't. That's fine.
Okay.
And
You can do it now, or disengage.
here's the thing: if I hit it, then it doesn't get an opportunity attack against me. So I'm
That's
going
correct.
to tactically retreat into the fountain.
There we
Tactical
go.
fountain retreat.
There we go.
Hey, Dustin, quick question.
Yeah.
Because I was just watching the dice rolls. You rolled.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. That was wrong. Yeah, that was not.
It's fine. The
correct.
damage is reasonable for what you would get on 3d6. So
Okay, I legitimately just was like, is there a reason why those dice are big?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just checking.
Keep a note of that. For
I
next
will.
time, Justin,
I will
but
correct
it's
it.
Fine.
Yeah, I will correct
It's fine.
it.
You rolled a 1, a 4,
My
and a
bad.
4, so I'm not gonna make you
Right.
redo it.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. It is this guy's turn. It is going to move right here. And there is going to be, there's a thing I can do here. You see vines explode up from under the pavement around it. And I need
Wow.
Muhaka and Corvel to make a strength saving throw.
I don't like this.
All right. I got a 6, which I can only assume is good.
I got an 11.
Yeah, both of you feel the vines wrap up around your legs. Muhaka, I think one of the vines gets up through your like armor plating. Corvel, you're just about to leap up onto the fountain as the vine catches your back leg, and then both of you are quickly entangled, and you are both restrained.
Okay.
Cool.
But that is the end of its turn. Yes. Okay. Cool. Belief. You see this happen and the ground around your two friends explode into a mass of vines.
Yeah. Also, may I assume that the this is again just sort of like the head of a vine that's like thrashing off into the shadows still somewhere?
Technically I think it's a medium creature. So I'm gonna say it's sort of like spring-like and coiled.
Oh, okay.
It's large. I'm sorry, it's large. I should be filling it
Oh, good.
in a bigger space than that. Hold on. Let me go ahead.
Sorry, guys. I've made it worse.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, good.
Fun fact, if you want to put it in the middle of the squares, you can press Alt. Oh,
Yes.
but, or you can do that. Never mind.
This is
There you go. That
This
means
is,
that the covers would probably be bigger for that attack.
the entanglement.
No, it's a 15-foot square specifically.
Right.
Oh, it's 50. Okay, good.
Cool.
Yeah, and you see the vines kind of trailing down into the fountain as well.
Still not super 100% on this. Okay. Okay. So I think what I'll do is Zozo's standing right next to me. So I will It's sort of like I glance at Zozo and say, "Yeah." Basically, like, give me a hand with this one if you would. And I sort of like jab at the one that's right in front of me with my staff. And I'm giving you an opening for Commander Strike if you'd like to take it.
You can use your reaction to make a single melee weapon attack, I believe.
Does bonus damage if you hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who Zozo can?
Yeah.
Excitement is mine. Yes, Zozo. Yes, I help. I kind of actually want to unrestrain Corvell, but this is much more immediate. So.
Sadly, I can't give you a untie Corvell action, just an attack.
Just an attack. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So here we go. The great sword is slashing. 23.
No, that misses. Yeah, it hits.
No.
Just a little bit. Do I get my second on this kind of
No.
reaction or no?
No,
Just a
you
single
can
strike, yeah.
smite,
Just a single
but
strike.
there's no
I can divine smite
You
on
could
one.
If you want.
You can if you want. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna go see what the damage.
Sure.
Yeah, just add an extra d8 of damage.
Yeah.
So it should be
What?
2d6 plus 3 plus 1d8. You know,
Yeah.
And
simple.
beware, the
Jesus.
smite, you have to choose to spend it before you roll damage.
Yes.
Okay,
But
so
not
2d6. 2d6 plus 3, and then what was the bonus?
1d8.
1d8. Got it. Okay.
All right. 14.
So that was an
damage.
11 and 3. Yes.
Nice. Sorry, I was on mute there for a second. Belief, is there anything else you're doing on your turn?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was waiting to see if there's anything else. Yeah, I guess that's really not actually going to help at all. Corvell, I'd get you out of the vines if I had a strength of better than 8. I don't think it's within my power, though. No, I'm gonna be good for now.
Okay. In that case, Zozo, it is now immediately your turn. This inspiring rush of action from Belief leads straight into your turn.
All right. So then at this point, I really would like, if I may, to try to release Corvell and try to hack through one of the vines that is restraining him.
Sure.
If I'm close enough to do it. I can't exactly tell.
Flavor-wise, you can definitely be hacking through the vines. Mechanically, you need to make an athletics check.
Okay. So let me make an athletics check to see if I can just jump over there.
It's really just to like pull him out by force.
Just to pull him out. Okay, so that is
yeah.
a 22.
Yeah.
So I'm
easily.
gonna reach my giant arms.
Yeah, your long bugbear arms just sort of wrap around Corvell and you yank him free. Easy enough to do. That's your action. Do you have any bonus action or movement you would like to take?
Can I?
Help me, Zozo.
Wait, Zozo just help you.
Yeah,
Why you ask Zozo again?
Corvell looks down and he's like, "Oh, thank you."
Zozo gives him a quick hug. Can I move towards Muhaka to try and maybe release her on a next turn?
Fine, just deal with the plants.
Yes.
Plants are on you. Okay.
You can
I'm
definitely
fine.
do that. It is difficult terrain moving through that square, but you can do it if you would like.
And how in my action did I move any further, or I just reached out from where I was standing?
You got them long arms.
I got a long bugbear arm. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stay where I am to keep hacking at this plant that's quite near to me.
Cool. Sounds good. It is this plant's turn right here, and it's gonna go ahead and do the same ding dang thing as its friend. Because that was a good strategy.
I don't like it. Mean old plant.
That's right. And it's gonna go ahead and also kind of call up more vines from the ground. And I need Chastity, Belief, Corvel, and Zozo to make strength saving throws. Out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Okay.
20.
I fail.
I got a 9, but I'm gonna use a point of luck to reroll
Oh, lucky boy.
and get a 6. I knew I would need help again. That's what had to help me.
You do have that bardic inspiration die if you want to use it.
Oh,
You do
okay.
Recently, you might get out.
So I could still keep the 9 if I wanted and add the bardic inspiration,
That's right.
and that's a 1d8.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, that didn't roll. Okay, yeah, I'll add a 7 to the 9 and roll 16.
Yeah, I think as Zozo pulls you out, you look over at Muhaka and are just able to raise your legs in time to dodge the second one.
You remember what she said.
Believe? What did you
It's
get?
all up to you.
You're muted.
I said, remember you.
Yeah, right, sorry,
It's all up to you.
Yeah, the thing that I got was lag. I actually didn't hear what I was supposed to be doing.
Strength saving throw.
Oh, cool, yeah, that makes sense. 8. Yeah.
16. Okay, so everyone other than Chastity is able to sort of fight off the vines. Chastity, you're just not quite strong enough to pull out of them as they start dragging you down and wrapping around your arms and pinning them to your sides. Chastity and Muhaka are currently considered restrained. I'm gonna put a little marker.
Can
on
I-
you guys.
Can a restrained person Misty step out of a restraint?
They sure can on their turn.
Okay, just checking.
Muhaka, it's your turn up first.
Oh, yay, cool. There's no way I can get out of this. So, I will.
You'd be surprised.
Muhaka will start sort of speaking in Sylvan. And it's not exactly what she said, but it probably has something to do with, it being nothing but a loaded spring, as opposed to being a plant, as she casts Vicious Mockery on it.
Yes. That's a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my god, this plant's feelings are gonna be so hurt.
And it is feigned, right?
Yes, but that's a D4.
17, unfortunately.
Liza, I don't like you.
You rolled a 19 minus 2, sorry.
Oh, how dare you? No. Okay, well, and then for a bonus action, I will give... Say... Zozo's doing fine by Zozo's own. Chastity.
Alright, you give
What'd you do
Chastity
best?
some bardic
Bardic
inspiration. Alright, and it is your turn, Chastity.
I'm gonna Misty step the fuck out of here.
Sure, where would you like to Misty Step to?
Away. So,
Uh,
I'm 5. Can I do that?
Let's find out. Yes, you absolutely can.
Okay. And then, how are you dragging that?
You have to select the little ruler tool up in your toolbar. I can show you later.
Okay. So if I want to be like, I can still hit these two. I'm still in line of sight of these two, but
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
5, 10, 15, but I'm out of their tangle range.
Yes.
Cool. I think that's all I can do.
No, Misty Step is a bonus action.
Oh, fuck yeah. So then I'm going to shoot them.
Eldritch Blast. All right.
Yeah,
Which one would you like to hit? Or would you like
the
one at
weaker
each?
one.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to do one on the weaker one first and see what happens.
Okay.
21.
Definitely hits.
That's 9.
Okie dokie. It's definitely
Is it-
looking wounded. It's not dead yet.
Let's see what this. Fuck, does an 8 hit?
No, unfortunately, I think the second strike, you're still sort
I
of
rolled
gaining
a
your
1.
balance from your Misty Step. You Misty Step across, fire off one Eldritch Blast right as you land, and then trip a little bit, and the second one just goes wide.
Could I use my Bardic Inspiration on that?
You have to do
Actually,
it before
I'm not
I
gonna
tell
waste
you
it right
if
now.
it misses.
Yeah.
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 All right. Corvel, you are miraculously free of the vines, dancing along the edge of this fountain.
Yeah, there's just vines coming after my leggies. Zozo's helping me pulling me out, and then I look at Muhaka, who's stranded over here all by themselves, and who believed in me so greatly, and I leap towards the vine that's constraining Muhaka, and I attempt to hack away at it with my rapier.
Absolutely. Roll to hit.
11.
It dodges out of the way just barely with its various coils. I think as part of
Okay.
this leap, however, you've pulled out your dagger, so you can make your offhand strike if you would like.
That's okay. I'll use my another point of luck,
Oh, all right.
and we'll try it again.
You feeling lucky?
Punk.
I got exactly an 11.
No!
Okay.
I'm just gonna start focusing Bardic Inspiration on you. Okay, got it.
So I leap heroically. I'm slashing heroically. You guys can tell I'm not doing anything.
You realize that you're just slashing at all the
What's that?
terrain, not the actual plant. You're slashing everything else.
There's a lot of individual vines here. It's hard to tell which ones are sort of like extraneous and like which ones are part of the core of this creature and which ones are like holding you. It's difficult.
Absolutely.
Do you want to make your offhand attack, or are you good?
That's fine. No, that's fine. I did well. Actually, can I pull it out as a? I'll pull it out as my bonus action.
I was
How
going to
about
say you could do it as part of your heroic flourishing jump. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, usually when you attack, you can pull out a weapon as part of the attack.
Yeah.
So.
that? Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'll do that then. Oh, that's not the right. It's a 9. I rolled a 9.
You're hacking and slashing, but there's so many vines.
There's so much swinging happening,
Yeah.
and I'm cutting things, and I'm trying.
All right. This one is going to try and attack you, Muhaka,
Okay.
because you are restrained and you're right in front of it. Does a 25 hit you? Sorry, I don't hear you, Muhaka.
I said, what? No, what are you talking about?
All right.
Absolutely misses. Only a crit can hit me.
Well, dang it. You take 12 points of bludgeoning
Cool.
damage,
So,
and you are still restrained. Still can't hear you, Anastasia.
sorry, I was purposely doing that because I was doing math.
Ah. Okay, yes.
I was doing-
12 points of bludgeoning damage. You see it, Corvel, as you're like slashing at it, it's just coiling up tighter and tighter around Muhaka. Trying to sort of
maintain
crush her.
concentration on my spell.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It has unleashed a wave of distraction vines. Meanwhile, it is actually just strangling my friend to death.
That's right. Okay,
Slowly
believe.
but surely.
Did I hear my name?
You did.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I've been dealing with some lag issues, so if I don't if I don't seem to know what's going on, it's only because I don't. Okay, so Muhaka's still restrained. And sorry, I don't know if you said this because again, lag. I assume you don't have any temporary hit points at this point, Muhaka.
I have used them all up.
That's what I thought.
All my inspiration, so I can't get you more.
Good to know. Okay. Doing.
Look, I've been buffing you guys as much as I could.
What would you like to do on your turn, Belief?
Yeah, sorry. Just getting reacquainted with where we are. Who's holding a lantern? Or where is a lantern?
I assume you guys sort of had them around. Maybe one is on the desk. Corvell had one. I assume he sort of put it down to pull out his swords.
Yeah, I think Corvell had one before he pulled out his dagger. So it's maybe on the floor somewhere around the fountain.
Yeah, we'll say it's on the lip of the fountain right behind you.
Cool. Okay, so I would like to grab that. And this is like an oil lantern, right?
Yeah, it's like a pretty normal oil lantern.
Splendid. Cool. Well, I would like to grab this lantern then, and I think if you allow it for my action, I'd like to basically just smash it like right on this thing.
Okay. You can definitely do that. You are restrained. So
Am I?
Oh no, you passed your check. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got confused. You're twins, you look so much alike.
We get that. We don't get that a lot actually, but it's fine.
Yeah, you grab the lantern and just sort of smash it. I'm just gonna have you make an attack roll.
Fair enough.
It's gonna be a disadvantage because you are restrained.
Am I? I thought we
You're
discovered
not.
this.
I'm so sorry. Guys, I'm tired.
There's a glitch in the matrix.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm just really trying to make you be restrained. That's all I'm saying.
I get it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And I assume this is an improvised attack.
It is.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say
Just
this is
checking.
with your dexterity because you're trying to aim it for the center of mass of this creature.
Sure. Yeah. This is sort of a thrown attack.
Sort
Yeah.
of?
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Question mark. I'll take it. Okay. Cool. And I'm not gonna take my proficiency because I'm. All right. 15.
That hits.
Take that. Take that, plant monster. Something else I was gonna do. Okay, so I hit it.
Mm-hmm.
And just for the record, I'm totally fine if that doesn't do anything instantly, as long as like splash flaming oil all over it. That's great.
Yes, there is oil all up over it. And as a matter of fact, yes, yeah, it's sort of all up over it.
Okay.
And at the start of its turn, effects will occur.
Excellent. And then as my bonus action, I notice that Muhaka is still restrained. I mutter under my breath the word Clipias, and I use rally, and I'm going to give you some temps because it looks like you could use them.
Nice.
So let's see, I believe
Yeah, you calculate that. Zozo, you are on deck.
you get 8 of them.
Sweet.
All right.
And I'm done.
Okay. Zozo is going to try to hit the plant that's right next to him at this point with his greatsword. And just give it a good old whack. That's a 20.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So it's going to come down. And I forgot. I do want to use Divine Smite on it at this point because I'm over this thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. So it's damage and then Divine Smite, right?
Yeah, they all go together. So this would be 2d6 plus 3 plus
Yeah.
however many d8. I assume you're doing a first level smite?
Yes.
All right, so plus 2d8.
2d6.
Destroy.
3. Okay. That was a 9. And then my 2d8.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, one hit comes down, the flash of lightning, your spirit of smiting.
Comes down, and actually my spirit of smiting this evening in the garden is dressed in is a lovely young man in a white silk mini dress with matching white silk boots, and he's got his characteristic red shag and his lightning strike, and this time he has a microphone that he just wants to try to choke the whole thing with.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
love it. Do you want to take your second attack as well?
Yes, absolutely. Because I would just want to hit it. Okay, and that is a 19.
That hits.
Excellent.
Let's get some more demise.
Okay, and that is 12. Okay.
Nice.
Right. And yeah, I think I'm gonna divine smite it again.
I mean,
make
why
it
not?
really-
He's already out there doing the stranglehold. He might as well.
Yeah, seriously, I'm over it. Okay. All right, and that is a 9.
Nice. Yeah, these creatures are both looking very injured.
Good.
The one you're attacking slightly less so than the other one. Whose turn it is, and Zozo, you have just hit it but good, and it is going to try and wrap around you in response, because it's like seeing your sword, seeing how much damage you're doing. That is a 20 to hit.
Or I think even with a D4 can't help you on that. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it is
Oh.
minus a d4. Sorry, I forgot.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, let me roll that. Sorry. Thank you for reminding me. 17.
I am 16.
All right, so it does
Yeah.
still hit.
It does still hit, yeah.
All right, so you are going to take 9 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are restrained as it wraps around you.
All right. Dang.
All right, back at the top of the initiative order, Muhaka, at the top of your turn. Oh, I'm sorry. Also on this creature's turn, Reed, go ahead and roll 2d4, please.
Three.
All right, it takes damage from being on fire.
Nice.
Okay.
Does that fire damage look like it does more?
It certainly does.
Yes.
Muhaka, at the top of your
Yes.
turn, you feel little vines working their way into you, and you take 17 points of poison damage.
That's poison. That's fine. I take half of that.
Yes. It has less effect on your warforged anatomy.
On my non-fleshy,
Yeah, so you take
unfleshy
8
anatomy,
points of poison damage.
which is the entire temp HP. Huzzah!
Very nice.
Huzzah!
All right, but it is the rest
Just
of your
as
turn
planned?
now.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I don't like this. All right. But it's distracted with me, which is a good thing, and I will once again use a vicious mockery upon it. This time, it's more of a sonic thing as opposed to actual insult, as it doesn't really come from her mouth, more of a chest.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this
And
thing is
just
up
hits this thing.
inside you. The vibrations sort of travel out from you into it. That's a 4. That's more like it.
Huzzah! So it takes 4
Okay.
points of damage, but more psychic damage. But more importantly, it has disadvantage on its attack.
Well, it would have disadvantage on its next attack,
But it just means it has a normal attack.
but it's
It's dead? Yes.
yes.
Knocked to death.
Yeah, please describe your kill.
Yeah, so you see this vibration, and it goes, and you really can't see it at first, and then it begins to shiver, and just gets much more intense, and then splat.
I think you notice something actually as it's shaking and pulling apart. It splashes something up onto you that, like up onto your mask and your faceplate, that was sort of on it. It seems like at first sap or more of the poison, but you reach up and you touch your face and it's water.
Okay. That's not good. Interesting. And, that was a cantrip, which means I can to Zozo. I send a wave of healing energy to you.
Ah, healing word.
Quite. You heal 7 points of damage.
Oh, Zozo feel better. Thank you, Muhaka.
That was an action. That was a bonus action, and now I'm going to move away.
Seems legit.
I'm not here to be a tank, even though this is what I'm being right now.
All right, Chastity, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna fireball this last one.
Fireball.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Are you going to be able to aim that so that it doesn't hit your friends?
Yeah, I'm gonna aim it like here-ish.
Okay.
Or like there-ish.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's
There's
going
a
to
number
make
of places
a
that I-
dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
That's gonna destroy a whole bunch of plants.
It rolls an 18, weirdly enough. Even
Minus
with,
4.
oh yeah, sorry, I just rolled it as -2, but the least it could get would be a 16.
Fair.
So, I think that still succeeds.
Oh, that's with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, sorry, I just put -2 instead of -d4 because I'm dumb. Yeah, it gets a 16, excuse me.
Okay.
So it will take half of the damage.
Still.
You know, it's already on fire, so... Oh, wait, no, but it's vulnerable to the damage, so it will take the full amount.
Oh, yes. 22.
Nice. Yeah, it bursts into flame, very clearly dead. Zozo, just manages to stumble backward in time, the vines that are restraining him turning to ash as he stumbles backwards. The palm tree is in flames. All of these plants over here are just on fire.
And Chastity's like,
I've been vaporized.
I'm over these plants. And her eyes are kind of like more purple than normal.
Yeah, there's just a large swath of burning plants.
Yeah.
The plants, the fire is crawling up the walls, the vines, they're all withering. And then you see the glass begin to flare to life, and mist comes out of it.
There's a fire alarm system.
These were plants I was going to.
Wow.
Okay.
It's more just like
Actually-
the air is getting moister. It's more like containing the fire rather than putting it out. You get a sense, belief from having looked at it, this is probably some emergency function of the climate control magic that's on the glass.
I have to respect that.
Legit.
But they're all
Right.
dead, right?
Yes, we
Yeah,
are
yeah.
out of combat. Woo.
Yeah. Muhaka is going to walk here and say, the plants, they had water on them.
Sorry.
Perhaps the same water that was spilled over here.
I expect that this water on the floor was probably a fountain. Do you are you implying that there's something in
Yes.
both?
It probably is the same water from the fountain.
Hmm. Well, I suppose if
we took samples of the water and they had alchemist supplies, I might be able to run tests, but...
Corbell suddenly looks a little worried just because he's pretty wet again.
Well, it seems to only work on the plant.
But he's not feeling any ill effects, right?
No, not currently.
Yeah.
Not yet.
With sort of a pointed look at Chastity and a bit of a sigh, I pull the decant from my side and begin assisting the climate control system in dousing the fire. And say, And I just sort of, with the comment, I expect we will want to investigate in here a bit further. Take your samples.
Yeah, you
Why
guys
are you giving me a look? I fixed it.
You also destroyed the magical plant, which might have been an interesting thing to look at, but
There's another one.
beside the point. Perhaps not the same kind. These are plants that have been manipulated.
Fine, next time I'll let you be squeezed to death.
Plants seem bad.
I had already. The one that was affecting me was already dealt with.
Oh, okay.
You guys are able to put out the fire, collect your samples, and investigate further. You find nothing else that strikes you as a clue or an object of interest. You still have that journal page and your memories from your encounters with these strange plant creatures. But after a bit more time, you all make your way back to the palace proper, back to your respective chambers, or wherever you decide to spend the night. And we will find out a little bit more about what happens to you next week on our next episode
Yay!
of the Gardens of Golshan. Thank you, everyone, for being here
yes.
with us tonight. Thank you, everyone who's watching. This is part 2 of 6. The plot is thickening. Who killed this woman? Why? What do they want? Hopefully these are all questions that our intrepid heroes will be able to answer for you in the coming weeks. So don't turn away from that dial, and do feel free to join us for all our other great shows on ManaPot. And stick around while we raid another great channel. And more than anything, come join us on our Discord. If you missed the first episode, it's up on YouTube. You can see most of our other shows there. And we will be back with you this time next week.
Woohoo!
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.